Were 570 children taken from their parents and placed into foster care in Los Angeles murdered in 2013? No, that's not true, the child protection advocate who is quoted in several articles citing the number told Lead Stories her source was a document published by the Los Angeles Times, but our review of the document found 570 was the total number of children who died of all causes in Los Angeles from June 2010 to December 2011. An investigation concluded there were 37 children who had previous contact with child welfare agents who died in that 18 months from abuse or neglect by caregivers. Another government report said there were 17 children who had contact with Child Protective Services killed by caregiver abuse or neglect in 2013. There is no information on how many of these children died while in foster care. The claim was included in an article published by MedicalKidnap.com on October 2, 2019 under the title Child Sex Trafficking Through Child Protection Services Exposed, Kidnapping Children for Sex. It opened, quote, "In this Buzzsaw interview below, filmmaker Sean Stone interviews Tammy Stefano, the executive director of the National Safe Child (NSC), and exposes much of the corruption happening within child protection services and family courts. This might be one of the few interviews currently available on the Internet that gives this much information on the child sex trafficking business that exists in LA County, and across the nation." Tammy Stefano reveals some very shocking information about the child and human trafficking business currently operating in the United States, which is a huge illegal business that brings in more money than the illegal drug trade and illegal arms trade combined. End quote. This is what social media users saw. While the headline promised revelations about child welfare workers involved in child sex trafficking, it did not deliver. The article pointed to a video interview conducted on February 20, 2015 titled The Slap, True Abuse and Corrupt Child Protection with Tammy Stefano. Starting at 11 minutes into the video, Stefano makes the charge that reporting abuse to child protective services agencies is a no-win situation. She said child welfare workers prefer taking children from their parents and putting them into homes with dangerous foster parents. Quote, "Here in Los Angeles in 2013, Child Protective Services took thousands of children away from parents. 570 children were murdered that were actually taken away from what Child Protective Services deemed to be unsafe homes only to be murdered and killed within the homes that they put these children in. Only in Los Angeles County." End quote. Watch Stefano's comments here. This is how MedicalKidnap.com described what Stefano said. Quote, "She then gives the example of Los Angeles County, where in 2013 CPS took thousands of children away from parents, and that 570 children were murdered while in the care of CPS and away from their families." End quote. Stefano told Lead Stories she based her claim on an 82-page document prepared by county lawyers and posted online by the Los Angeles Times in February 2013. Here is page 6 from that internal county report into failures at the Los Angeles Department of Children and Family Services (DCFS). It reads, quote, "According to the Department of Children and Family Services (DCFS) Bureau of Information Services, there were 570 child deaths reported to the DCFS between June 2010 and December 2011. Of those, 268 children had prior DCFS history and 302 had no prior DCFS history. Pursuant to SB 39 guidelines, DCFS reported that 37 fatalities out of the 268 with prior DCFS history were the result of abuse and neglect." End quote. Stefano's interpretation of that report is wrong. It does not support her claim, or the stories based on her claim, that 570 children taken from their parents and placed into foster care in 2013 were murdered. The Chronicle of Social Change reviewed child fatalities due to caregivers in Los Angeles County for the period from 2010 to 2019 in an article titled "Child Deaths Have Put LA's Antelope Valley on the Map." But how dangerous is it for children? It included this chart that showed in 2013 there were 17 such deaths of children who had previous contact with the DCFS. Stefano also quoted another Los Angeles Times report that she said showed that DCFS was not properly screening foster parents in Los Angeles County. Quote, When we looked into it, 1,000 convicted sex offenders were given the green light to become approved foster parents. 1,000, only in Los Angeles County. End quote. That would be an astounding scandal, if true. It is not.